students, welcome to my channel Learning History Made Easy. In today's video, we will be seeing two topics from political science. The first will be a continuation of last video's topic, that is caste-based inequality. We will be seeing the reservation and justification as a response for caste-based inequality. One more topic we will be seeing in the same video, that is gender-based inequality. So before going into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time, or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share it with your friends, and also click the bell button to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. So without wasting time, let us get into today's video, that is caste-based inequality, reservation and its justification as a response. So as a result of caste-based inequality, last video we have learnt in detail about caste-based inequality. As a result of that, the worst hit were the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes, that is OBC. So the worst hit group because of this caste-based inequality was the scheduled caste, the scheduled tribe and other backward classes. In order to bring them to the mainstream, the makers of the Indian Constitution included certain provisions in Part 3, 4 and 16 of the Constitution. So, many provisions were made to bring them to the mainstream, to bring scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and OBC to the mainstream. The makers of Indian Constitution included certain provisions in which parts? In Part 3, 4 and Part 16 of the Constitution. Article 15, 16, 17 and 46 contain revolutionary provisions for the creation of socialist pattern of society. So, there was provisions for the creation of socialist pattern of society in Article 15, 16 and 46. The aim of reservation policy is to establish an egalitarian society. Now, the National Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes are empowered to exchange their socio-economic status through different provisions. Now, we are going to see what are the remedial measures taken in different fields to combat or to overcome this caste-based inequality. First one is in educational field. Article 15, Clause 4 and 5 of the Constitution provides for reservation of seats to SC, ST and backward classes in educational institution. So, there is Article 15, Clause 4 and 5, there is reservation of seats for SC students, that is scheduled caste students, scheduled tribe students and other backward classes in educational institutions. So, seats are, a certain number of seats are reserved for them. Even the private aided and unaided institution must also reserve certain seats to the students belonging to these groups. It is not only government institutions, but in private aided and unaided institutions also should reserve certain seats to students belonging to these groups. As per the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, 15% of seats for SCs and 3% of seats for STs are reserved. So, as per the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, 15% of seat for the scheduled caste and 3% of seat for the scheduled tribes are reserved in educational institutions. So, that are the remedial measures taken in the field of education. Second one, in the field of employment, what measures are taken? So, Article 16, Clause 4 of the Constitution provides equal opportunities to all in public services. So, regarding employment, Article 16, Clause 4 provides for equal opportunities to all classes in public services. Article 335 claims reservation for SCs and STs in public service, both central and state government. So, in both central and state government, there is reservation for SCs and STs in public service as per the Article 335. At present, reservation for jobs in central and state governments to SCs and STs stand at 15% and 3% respectively. At present, there is 15% reservation for SCs in central and state government and 3% for STs. The Mandal Commission report recommended 27% job reservation for other backward classes, that is OBC, in 1980, and it was implemented in 1990. According to Mandal Commission report, there is 27% job reservation for OBC, that is other backward classes, and it was in 1980 and it was implemented in 1990. So that is the measures taken in the field of employment. Next one, Lok Sabha and Legislative Assembly. Article 330 and 332 of the Indian Constitution provides reservation to SC and ST both in Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly respectively. So seats are reserved for SCs and STs in Lok Sabha as well as Legislative Assembly as per the Article 330 and 332. Next, in local bodies, what is the reservation? Article 243D of Indian Constitution, seats are reserved for SCs and STs in every panchayat in proportion to the population. So regarding local bodies, in every panchayat, seats are reserved in proportion to the population as per Article 243D. Under the same article, the offices of chairpersons in Panchayat Raj institution are reserved for these groups as per the law made by state government. So as per the law made by state government, the offices of chairperson in Panchayat Raj, that also is reserved for these groups. For backward classes also, seats may be reserved by the state government. So that is the provisions in local bodies. Article 243T provides for the reservation of seats for these groups in urban local government. So, according to Article 243T, there are seats reserved in urban local government for these scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Now, abolition of untouchability also is a remedial measure which was taken, that is according to Article 17 of the Constitution, it provided for abolition of untouchability. Untouchability prevailed, and to abolish that, Article 17 of Indian Constitution was made. The SC and STs Act was enacted by the Parliament in 1989 and it is known as Dalit Act. A very important act made in this field is the Dalit Act, which is called as the SC and ST Act, made by Parliament in 1989. It came into force on 30th January 1990 and it specifies the atrocities which are liable for severe penalties. So, what are the things which are liable for severe penalties? All are written in this Article 17 of the, in the Dalit Act of the Indian Constitution. Under section 21 of the Act, the state government are required to take effective measures for its implementation. So, Dalit Act was very important, which was implemented in this regarding this inequality, caste based inequality, and under section 21 of the Act, the state government is required to take effective measures for the implementation of this Dalit Act. So, all these are the remedial measures taken against the caste based inequality. Now, moving on to the next topic, that is gender based inequality. So, last topic was inequality which was based on caste. Now, the next is inequality based on gender, discrimination based on gender. So, discrimination is made on the basis of men and women denying equal opportunity, that is called as gender based inequality. So, the discrimination made on the basis of men or women or male or female and denying equal opportunities to both of them is called as gender based inequality. It is a result of gender bias in favor of male throughout the ages. We can see gender based inequality in family, economic, cultural, educational and political field. This gender based inequality has been going on for a long time, and this can be seen in different fields, like in families it can be seen, economic field, political field, cultural field, educational field. In every field we can see gender based inequality. Now, what are the causes why this gender based inequality is existing? The first cause is Manusmriti. So according to your text, earlier the Hindu society followed Manusmriti, which asserted that women should always be under the guardianship of men at different stages of life. So according to Manusmriti, in the earlier Hindu society, it is said that women should always be under the guardianship of men at different stages of life, under the guardianship of father, brother, husband, son, etc. So this was the belief in early Hindu society, which led to the gender-based inequality later. Next one is male domination. The society is based on physical strength of man, where he dominates a female. So here when they say about male domination, the society which is based on the physical strength of man, where man dominates on female. He does not want the female to take over his responsibility and authority at home as well as in society. So this male domination also leads to gender-based inequality. Next one, denial of education. Male domination is reflected in the field of education too. What happens is denying education for girls. This has been happening for many centuries and it made her incapable in different fields. Girls are denied education, denied the right to education. That makes her incapable in many fields. And men occupied major jobs and secured well and dominating position in the entire system. So this also denial of education, and as a result of this women were not capable of getting major jobs and men occupied major jobs, and all these led to gender based inequality. Next one, dowry system. The practice of dowry system contributes to inequality of gender. So this also is a practice which has been going on through ages. Dowry system. The boy is treated as an asset and girl is considered as burden. So boys always are treated as assets and girls are considered to be a burden on the family because of the dowry system. And this attitude intensifies the discrimination between men and women. Next one, inadequate representation. Women constitutes 50% of the total population, but they are inadequately represented in the field of politics and economics. Even though women constitutes 50% of the total population, when it comes to representation in political and economic field, it is inadequate. Even though women are capable as men, they are not allowed in this respective field. Even though women are equally capable, they are not allowed in this fields or in these respective fields. Gender-based inequality is a slur to democracy. Okay, it's a hindrance to democracy. It is a hindrance for growth. So denial of the right to equality, dignified life to women is against the basic principles of democracy. So denying equal rights to women is actually against the principles of democracy. So reservation of women as response. So what is the response for this issue? What is the remedial measure for this issue? That is reservation of women. Reservation for women. The Constitution of India has specifically stated that reservation is to be provided for women in educational, employment and representative bodies. So the remedial measure is women have to get representation. So in this field, women have to be given representation in fields like education, employment, politics, representative bodies, etc. So let us see one by one. First is education. Educational empowerment of women is required to remove gender-based inequality. So as we have studied, educational empowerment is one of the most important remedial measure to remove gender-based inequality. So for that purpose, what all things the government have done? First is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyana was introduced by the Indian government in 2001 for universalization of elementary education. First is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyana in 2001. It was for the universalization of elementary education for all. Next one, Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya Scheme. Okay, Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya Scheme provides for reservation of 75% for girls from SC, ST, OBC and other minority community. So 75% is reserved for girls from SC, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward classes and minor communities according to the Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya scheme. Remaining 25% of reservation goes to girls coming from poor families. So remaining 25% seats are reserved for girls coming from poor family. Next one, Kittur Rani Chennamma residential schools are started in Karnataka for education of girls. Karnataka government have adopted some schemes to encourage girls education like fees concession up to degree level, provision of scholarships, etc. So Karnataka government also have taken many steps in this field, like fee concession is given, scholarships are provided, all these measures are taken. Now that was in the field of education. Now what can be done in the field of employment, or what was done in the field of employment? By reserving certain jobs, women will economically be empowered to lead an independent and dignified life. So if certain jobs are reserved for women, they can be economically independent and they can start leading a very dignified life. In state services, 33% of jobs are reserved for women. So 33% of jobs are reserved in state services for women. In banking field, some banks are fully managed by women, that is, central government opened Mahila Bank in different cities across India which are completely managed by women, that is Mahila banks. Women have proved their capability as teachers, scientists, industrialists, political leaders, social reformers, etc. In all different fields, women have proved their capability. Some famous personalities of India, we can see Sarojini Naidu, Mother Teresa, Indira Gandhi, Kalpana Chawla, Vijayalakshmi Pandit, etc. and the list goes on. There are so many examples of women who have become very famous personalities. Now, what is the remedial measures in representative bodies? The 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments are landmark in the political empowerment of women at the grassroots level of democracy. Now, in the field of politics or in the field of representation also, according to the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment, these are for the political empowerment of women. So, regarding that, Article 243D provides 1/3 reservation of seats for women in Panchayat body. So 1/3 of the seats are reserved for women in Panchayat body according to Article 243D. Out of the total reserved seat, 1/3 of the seats are reserved for SC and ST women. 1/3 of the total number of offices of chairperson in Panchayat may also be reserved for women as per the law made by state government. So 1/3 is of the total number of the office of chairperson in Panchayat may also be reserved for women according to the law made by state legislature. Now the policy of political reservation is followed in urban government under Article 243T. Okay, and many state governments including Karnataka have increased reservation of seat to 50% in local government. So 50% of seats are reserved in local government by many state governments like Karnataka. Now, what are the constitutional provisions? What are the provisions in the constitution to remove this gender based inequality? So many are there. Prohibition of state discrimination based on sex, that is Article 15. Equality of opportunity in public service, Article 16. Right against exploitation, Article 23 and 24. Equal pay for work for both men and women, Article 39D. Protection of dignity of women, Article 51AE, and voting right, Article 236. So these are the constitutional provisions which provides for removing this gender based inequality. Now the central and state government have appointed Women Commission to safeguard their interest. Very important point. Women Commission have been established by central and state government to safeguard the interest of women. The National Commission of Women was set up in January 1992. India has also signed the UN Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women on 30th July 1980 and ratified it in 9th July 1993. So, first is India, and the National Commission of Women was set up in 1992, and also India have signed UN Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women on 30th July 1980 and ratified it on 9th July 1993. So, these are the remedial measures taken against the gender-based inequality. So, caste-based inequality remedial measures, gender-based inequality causes and its remedial measures. All these are the topics which we have seen in today's video. Now, let us see some question answers. What is gender-based inequality? That is discrimination made on the basis of men and women denying equal opportunities are called as gender-based inequality. Next one, state a cause for gender-based inequality, male domination, denial of education, all the points which you have studied, any one cause they have asked, you can write any one cause. Next, describe the causes of gender-based inequality. I have just explained it above, and explain the remedial measures to remove gender-based inequality. That points also I have explained. So, I hope you have understood these topics very clearly. In case of any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. And also, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and shares will be of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. So, I hope to see you all soon in the coming video. Thank you for watching.